Okay, good afternoon all. Hope everyone is well. Okay, just quickly before we sort of start today, I had some problems yesterday with Rhythmic. I believe quite a few people had problems with Rhythmic. Now, before I started streaming for that short period of time yesterday, I took a long position here, that higher low. Now, as I clicked the buy button, and for some reason the trade opened, but there was no stop and no take profit. So I closed the trade down So nothing else happened. Everything was fine. If you look back on my stream, everything was fine. This area was clear. It was showing no trades, nothing. Hey, Speedy, how you doing, buddy? So it was showing nothing. Then when I closed the stream down, I closed down Ninja Trader and I closed down Rhythmic, and it said Rhythmic there was 2 positions open, which I don't get. So I shut Rhythmic down, opened it, and sure enough, there was two trades open here with red crosses, and I could not shut them down. I was clicking close position, and they would not close for some reason. My 2 trades would not close. Yeah, they would not close. Now I'm going to show you a quick video just for a second of me trying to close them. Probably going to need a bit of sound, so where is this? Let me just... Okay, for some reason... move this over because the market is about to open. It seems I have positions open. You can see those positions yesterday. Let me just speed up. If I shut close that and then click that, okay, I could not close them for some reason. I don't know why. So what it is I took a position here. I'll cut it off anyway. So anyway, I went onto the Apex website and clicked flatten all. And I did it twice. It said process once, and the second time it said processed again. And I came back on here for about another hour and tried everything I could to shut these down, restart my computer, everything, and they would not shut down. And I watched the chart on and off for the rest of the day, and the market closed here. Now, my position was here, the market was here, so the trade was actually up. So when the market reopens at 11 o'clock UK time, I was sat in front of the screen, and it actually gapped down just a little bit, and I managed to stop the trade here, and they were still showing. So as soon as I clicked the red cross, they closed. So for some reason, they held overnight. I didn't even think it was possible to do that. I was at the chart when the market closed because I was, because I know Apex, there was a video going around a while ago that Apex auto liquidate any positions that are left over. So for some reason, that trade seemed to work all night. Now, luckily, when I closed the trade, I think it was up... I don't know, about $50 one of them and $75 the other one, something like that, or $50.25. Luckily, I had the good sense to be sat at the chart, literally, because it obviously collapsed. So unless anybody was managed to shut their positions for some reason. Now, I've looked on someone sent me a link to the Apex Discord, and apparently Sam sent me a message this morning saying that they weren't taking responsibility for it because it was a Rhythmic issue. But I don't quite understand. Fortunately, you close mine -6. Oh, see it's unacceptable, that, I think. Apex sell a package. Okay, they sell us a product, and part of that product we have to use Rhythmic. We don't decide to do that. Apex say, this bit of software you use, it connects our systems to Ninja Trader and so on. And if there's a problem with it, as far as I'm concerned, Apex needs to accept responsibility. If I started making washing machines, if I made a Zanussi washing machine, and there's a piece of software in there that does all the electronics. Now, that often happens. They'll use other companies' products. Now, if something goes wrong with my washing machine and I go back to Zanussi, they don't say, sorry, we didn't design the software for it. You'll have to go to that other company. It doesn't work that way. If you sell a product, if you decide to use certain bits of software or certain parts or certain elements from other companies in your product, as far as I'm concerned, you have to stand by them if they go wrong. So I don't understand why Apex are saying this. Don't get me wrong, I like Apex, I use them, but it's concerning because if luckily the volume was very little and where I took a position, market climbed up. But if there'd have been a lot of volume yesterday and market would have tanked like that, I'd have lost my account. If I'd have had 20 accounts, think about Wilson. If he'd have had 20 accounts, he would be absolutely livid. He's got $3,000 in each of those accounts. He's got over $60,000 in those accounts. You just cannot lose money like that. You really can't. So this is why I'm sceptical that everyone will be able to hold PAs long enough to... Yeah, I know what you mean, mate. It's concerning. It's concerning because it's happening more and more. There is sort of a lower high there, but I'm staying out of this at the moment. It's happening more and more, and it's scary. It really is. You could spend a lot of time and a lot of money, excuse me, with Apex. You know, getting stuff to work. For it to go wrong, it's just no. It's unacceptable. I think. I don't think you can say sorry. It's not our software. If it's part of your package to sell it to me, then as far as I'm concerned, you've got to take responsibility. So, but for some reason, when the market reopened, 11 o'clock UK time, I think it's 6 o'clock Eastern time, the trades were still there and I managed to close them straight down. So I didn't even think it was possible to hold a position overnight. So I don't know what's going on. But it is scary. You know, we all invest a lot of time and a lot of money into Apex. So I just think, really, if you use a piece of software as part of your package, you have to stand by it if it goes wrong. You know, I mean, I don't know how it works if you trade your own money with Ninja Trader, and if something goes wrong with Ninja Trader, do you lose your money or are they responsible for it? I don't quite know. But it is flipping damn scary. It really is. So, you know, luckily for me, and hopefully a lot of others who entered around here, the market, I mean, if you'd have sort of traded normal time around here, it was around about here, there was a maximum of 6 points, 7 points in the market. So hopefully, if you could get out, and I mean, maybe there's more voice, they would, yeah, maybe. It does sound a bit irresponsible, yeah. You try to address the issue in the Facebook group. Well, I think people have talked about it. I know Sam put a post in there earlier. Let me see if I can find it. Where was it? Yeah, let me just bring it in. Sam put a post here earlier. I think this is what Apex said. Supporters deferred responsibility of Rhythmic yesterday. I don't see how you can do that. I really don't. Not if you tell people as part of using our package, yeah, you have to use this software. I don't use it out of choice. I'm told to use it as part of Apex system. Now, it shouldn't make a difference to me who designs the damn thing. It's not none of my business. You know, but I sign up to, you know, lots of companies use other people's products and bits of software in their you know, in their stuff. You don't just, you know, if you buy a pint of milk from a supermarket and something's wrong with it, you don't go to the supermarket and they say, sorry, go and see the farmer, he sent us the milk. It doesn't work that way. You know, life doesn't work that way. You have to take, if you sell somebody a package and anything in that package is made by anybody else, as long as it's part of your package and you say you have to use it, then you need to take responsibility for it. So perhaps if it's happened to a lot of people and a lot of people complain, then maybe they may do something, you know. I have always been horrible. Have they really? Yes, I don't understand it really. It doesn't make sense. Trouble is, if it continues to happen, more and more people will start to get fed up and start not bothering. And you know, as far as I'm concerned, there's two elements to a good business. You need to be able to make consistent profits, and you need to keep your customers happy. One can't work with the other. You know what I mean? You need both to work. So it's frustrating, and I don't know the answer, to be honest with you. I have got Chris. What's his name? Chris. What's his name? Chris. He works for. What's his name? Chris. I've gone blank. He works for Apex. He's a trader himself. I've got him on Facebook Messenger. So I might just give him a message sometime, drop him a message and say, what's the score here? Because you can't say, you pay us X amount of money, you can trade with us, and if something goes wrong, you lose all your accounts. Where's the attraction in doing that? You know what I mean? You don't say, if you buy this car, you pay us £20,000 for this car, but if it breaks down, tough. No, you need to supply a warranty with it. So... Apex, in my opinion, as a prop firm, are near perfect, I think. There's a lot of good stuff about Apex that I like. I wouldn't trade them otherwise. But this is just one of those things that just scares me, because if something does go wrong, and like Wilson, you've got 20 accounts, that can absolutely cripple a person, not only financially, because if you're getting paid regularly from 20 accounts, that's a full-time job. And if something goes wrong, that would sort of cripple you, not only financially, but emotionally as well. At the moment, Wilson's got over $60,000 invested with Apex. That's just in with his accounts. If something goes wrong there, and, the saving grace yesterday is when the official sort of time most people trade around here, there was very little movement. So I think the damage would have been minimal, but you had to get in because mine was still showing. You had to get in quick before that happened, because once that's happened, you're screwed. You have to complain about it, and Apex has to explain it. I think they're going to get a ton of emails, I think, because I've been looking on the their Discord, and there is a lot of chit-chat about it. I don't try to admit, but if it were me, I'd be careful. There's a lot of chat about it this morning. So if it's happened to enough people, they're not going to know until people start dropping messages. And if there's enough messages, usually, because I've heard Daryl Martin before saying the difference between us and not a lot of other prop firms, we stand by our traders when things go wrong. So I seem to, my idea of that is if it happens to everybody, then they tend to do something. If it happens to a few, I don't think they tend to, you know what I mean? I think they tend to not. So I'll have to see about that. I started trading, contact them at 7 a.m. Yeah, I dare say, mate, it does sound like it happened to a lot of people. I was speaking to some people yesterday, so they're going to get a ton of messages. And I think at some point, Daryl Martin will probably step in and say, okay, we'll take it on the chin here. But, if you have a piece of software that you tell people they have to use as part of their system, then I think you need to take responsibility for it. You can't say you have to use these, but if it does break down, tough, you lose everything. You're not going to keep customers very long doing that, see. So, but I did message him yesterday. I emailed him. Where's my email? Yeah, that was my email yesterday. Ticket number. So I'm waiting to hear from them myself, just to see, what they're going to say. But there was a lot of chatter around it, and I think that's the good thing, because it happened to a lot of people. You got more chance of getting stuff done. But fortunately for me, I ended up, I think, $25 in one and $50 in another up. So, it was okay for me. And in all fairness, that's the trade I took there, the higher low. But the trade opened, but there was no stop and no profit, so I just closed it. But if, that was the trade I took, in all fairness, it got up to 3 points, so 2 points would have worked. In fact, where did I get into it? That's where I got into it here. And look at that. That's not supposed to happen, is it? You get into a trade, you get out of it here. That's not supposed to happen. You're not supposed to be able to hold a position overnight. It's supposed to auto. So go figure. But where I got in there for 2 points, well, yeah, confidently made the money. But that isn't supposed to happen. So they tell us you can't hold a position overnight. So, I don't know. Go figure. Anyway, I hope if anybody did get stung, it was minimal. But I would say, regardless, even if you managed to get out or it didn't sting you, I'd still drop them a message. Because, you know, obviously the more people they do that does contact them, the more chance they got of, you know, doing something about it. Or they need to come up with some other system better than Rhythmic, because Rhythmic, in my opinion, is absolute utter junk. It just does not work properly. Okay, so touch a bunch of times there, see what happens here. There may be a bit of a channel here, so we may get a leg and a leg. Let's have a look. Let's put that there. So there is a possibility of a leg. A couple of attempts to go higher and another leg. We'll see if we get a second entry short here. But it's scary. You know, I've got 2 accounts. I can't tell you. I got to say, a lot of my day yesterday was full for stress. And trading's stressful enough as it is without having that to think about constantly. Changed my mood yesterday. I was a little bit snappy with my missus a little bit. Just a little bit short. But you just don't want the hassle, in all fairness. DV, you're right, buddy. The thing is, I think they all prop firms, I'm pretty sure, use Rhythmic, because it's how I believe they are able to monitor everything and find out. You know, they need some sort of connection to NinjaTrader to be able to find out what you're doing. You know, what you're making, what's happening. So I believe they all have to. The only way you can ditch Rhythmic is to trade your own money. Now I'm 54 at the moment. I'm 55 in June, and I've got a private pension that I've had through another company. And I'm tempted to get some of it and trade my own account. Have you reloaded your historic? I haven't, mate. I'm tempted. I could get hold of about 60,000 UK money. So I'm tempted to get 20,000 of it. £20,000, which is about $25,000, and trade my own account. Now, you might think I'm mad doing that. But what I will say, sometimes when you're revenge trading, you take stupid risks, is when you're on a prop firm, when you're trading their money, because you've got nothing to, you know, you've got no money, you've got nothing to lose. Oh my God, that's quite different. You take stupid risks, I think, when you've got nothing to lose, because we start on zero and we've got to try and build account. And that's where you take risks. When you start to get money, that's when you tend to go a bit careful. So I'm tempted to think about, I'm going to have a think about over the next few months about trading my own account. Take Profit Trader uses COG. Do they really? COG. Why is that? It rings a bell. I can't think now. So if that's better, why don't Apex use it? I don't get it. I think they need to do something, because at the end of the day, not only is awkward for us, but it must cause them a bloody headache. It must do. If you trade NinjaTrader with COG, you will never have a problem with these trade issues. Oh, so, COG, is that data? Is that just data? Is it live data? Oh, CQG. Sorry if we said COD. CQG. That's live data, isn't it? I think that's just live data. Yeah, Q. I thought it was. It's all right. Yeah, it's a data provider. The trouble is, our data comes through Rhythmic, but my understanding of Rhythmic, it's a piece of software that not only brings in the data, doesn't it connect? Or am I thinking about this wrong? In fact, I don't really know, actually. I'm just assuming. I thought it was something to do with, you know, a method that that can connect Apex to our accounts, because obviously they need to monitor our accounts, don't they? For obvious reasons, they need to know how much we've made, whether we passed. Whether it's the same as risk. They've been around forever, so why don't Apex use them? Can you use it without using Rhythmic for Apex, or do you have to use Rhythmic? Let's have a look at this. Okay, so we've had a little channel down here. We've had a break and 2 pushes down to a new low. So let's see, are we going to continue down? Is there a bigger channel there? There may be. Let's pop that there. You basically have 3 main data providers: Rhythmic, CQG, and TT. So can you use that as well as trade for Apex or not? I don't quite understand. See, it's something I've just never really looked into, because I always thought you had to trade for. See, because Rhythmic, you can't know. It's Rhythmic, you can actually trade on, can't you? So it's not just a data provider. It's actually a trading platform that connects to. That connects with Apex or Apex servers or something. So there is a possibility of another leg down here, but I'm just cautious around here because we've had a channel down there and a break, 2 pushes down to a new low, so this could push up. The NQ isn't really giving me much. We've got this leg down, a few pushes up, and we may come down again, or we may put it. Yeah, it's a bit unclear, isn't it? Yeah, so I don't know why Apex don't just ditch using. I don't know how it works. Is it that simple? Is it as simple to ditch it and use, a different provider? I don't quite understand it all. I wish I did, because it is frustrating. Rhythmic and personal, we see it at the same time. Okay. Yeah, see, I'm thinking about in June, I'm considering trading my own money, just putting 20,000 of my own money in now. Some people may say, oh, yeah, but you blow accounts, blah, blah, blah. I only take silly risks with blowing accounts when I'm trying to build account, because you think about it, we start on Apex with 0. So we got nothing to lose, which is why sometimes you take stupid risks. If you've got nothing to lose, you know what I mean? That's the trouble. We got to try and build something for nothing. Whereas if you have your own money and you manage the risk properly, so I would manage my risk at maximum 2% risk. That way, I can clearly trade. I don't have an issue trading. That's one of my stronger points. My weaker point is my psychology. But if you've got money, you've got something to protect. Then I think trading is probably a bit easier. Half our battle is when you've got nothing and you've got to try and build something from nothing. That's why I think we take stupid risks sometimes. So I'm considering doing that. Don't get me wrong, I'd much rather trade with Apex's money, because I can obviously make a bit more money technically. If I'm only risking $25,000 of my own money, 2% risk is $500, so the most I can really trade is about 3 contracts. Whereas if I've got 5 Apex accounts, I can trade a lot more. So I'm just going to consider things, but it does worry me when if I start to build up lots of accounts if something goes wrong. I hope Apex respond to this, but we need to have some sort of clear information. they need to either say to us from now on, if something goes with Rhythmic, I'm sorry, but you lose your accounts. Or if something goes with Rhythmic, and as long as it, you didn't blow it, because I dare say there'll be some people who've blown accounts and maybe saying, oh, it was because of Rhythmic. I dare say they're out there. There probably will be. So, but I think they either need to say, yes, we'll take responsibility, or no, we'll not. Because, we don't want to live in hope, do we? And just hope we don't lose our account, because it takes a lot of time and a lot of money and a lot of effort and a lot of stress to be able to build accounts. And the last thing you want to do is some useless piece of flipping software goes wrong and you end up losing the lot. It's unacceptable, that. Anyway, that's enough ranting. It needed to be said anyway. It's a topic for discussion. Something needs to be sorted out. Okay, so has that red bar triggered? No. Leg up. That might be okay. Let's put that like that. Touch. Fits quite nice at the bottom. Leg up. Now, obviously, there is a possibility that this could just be ranging as well. So we're sort of at the bottom, or we may have even broken the bottom. So going short there might not be the best thing to do. We'll have to see. But I do like the way it's confirmed that. I'm going to have to go there, I think.
Order submitted.
There is a second entry on the NQ as well, a second entry short. Let's see how that finishes. Doji. Yeah, it's no better there.
Order cancelled.
Yeah, just looking at the NQ, it did look like there was we had sort of a leg down here. A little bit of congestion there, in fact. May even be a bit of a... that might be a fail breakout. We may be coming lower. I was looking at possible second entry there. And one there as well. To come lower. But that bar's a bit naff. I like the way we hit a level there, though, which sort of confirmed it. It did look like one leg and a second leg. Yeah, there's a small micro channel there with the break in a new high. Touch. Let's see what happens. See if we can get a lower high, maybe. I would say to you guys, though, join the Discord, the Apex Discord, because that will give you any type of update information, and that will let you know how many people it's happening to. So, you know what they say, safety in numbers. If something's going to go wrong, it's better to happen to a lot of people. What do you pay for your data, Chris, if you don't mind me asking? With CGQ, what do you pay for that data? I've only ever once paid for data, not long after I first started, when I started trading my own money. I think it was only about $4 or $10 a month? It wasn't much. Yeah, that's about right. I think it was about $4 a month, so it's not a lot to pay, really, is it? And that's classed as a non-professional, isn't it? Yeah, it will be, I dare say. If you class yourself as a professional, it goes up by about 20 times, doesn't it? Something ridiculous like that. But yeah, it's peanuts, really, isn't it? $5 for, decent data. Okay, so there may be a channel there. So, yeah, I got mixed feelings. We got a leg down, a little bit of sideways, and another attempt to go lower. It may still come down, it's hard to say. But obviously, you've got to look upon it as a range as well, because we're touching multiple times at the top and pretty much the same as the bottom. It could come down and try and retest it, but it's uncertainty at the moment. It's another reason why I started to stream live as well, because at least your trades are videoed. If something goes wrong, I've got video evidence. So I kind of like that other people are seeing things, you know what I mean? I also trade through Parnox using Rhythmic, and I've never had a trade problem with them. Yeah, I didn't think anybody could touch Apex at the moment. But it's probably because I've been with them for so long. I've been with Apex probably about 14 to 16 months, 14, 15 months, something like that. I think I started off with UProfit. And I traded with them for a little bit, and then a trader buddy of mine suggested Apex. And in all fairness, when they started having these 80 and 90% discounts, it's just so cheap, which is probably not always a good thing. The trouble is, when you're trading for so cheap money and something goes wrong, it's very easy to just up your risk and take a bigger risk and try and get lucky. And the trouble is that can get you into into bad habits sometimes. So sometimes when something's cheaper, it doesn't necessarily mean it's better, does it? Because you can, and I have myself at times, when you're paying $15, it's very easy to take a risk and try and get hit it in once. So it probably really, sometimes we think, yeah, it's cheap, give us some more. It's probably not a good habit to get into. Add any more PAs to Barnox. These 5 days trading requirements. Yeah. It is scary when you put a lot of time and a lot of money and a lot of effort into learning to trade, and the last thing you want doing is, is things going wrong. Which is why I think it's important to document everything, I think, really, isn't it? And note everything. That's why I like the idea of, I'll show you quickly. This is what you're looking at. It looks a bit confusing here, but this is my screen here, OBS. You can see this. And I've got now I stream, and you can see, obviously, I'm live streaming this. I'm seeing what you're seeing now, but you've got a record button there, and it just records to a folder. So you can just record your own trading. And that's got two benefits. One, you can look back and find out what happens sometime if something goes wrong. And two, you've got video evidence if something does go wrong. And it's free. So I would suggest it's OBS 30.0.2 is the latest one. It's free to use. So you just download it, and it's very, very simple to set up. You literally just click screen capture on it, and it captures it, and you click record. and you just record your day. And not only that, it doesn't take a lot of room up, but as long as everything goes smoothly with your day, you can look back on it and then you just delete it. But you've got video evidence if something does go wrong. So if Rhythmic say you did this, you did that, you can say, well, no, I didn't. This is exactly what I did. Look, I've videoed the last 2 hours of my day. So I would say it's a really useful tool considering it's free to do that. It's a good habit to get into. And obviously you can look back and see what happened. Okay, possible second entry long here. Got to come back a bit further for me, and it's got to be 2 proper legs. That's not 2 legs. So yeah, I would download it personally if I didn't already do it. Just record your day. If everything goes smoothly, no issues, just delete it. See if we can get a higher low here. Technically a second entry long. Trouble is, it just looks more like a leg to me, that does. So and that bar is right within that little channel, so I just can't take that. So we can get a higher low. Come down a bit. Come down to here. Come on. Bit further. There we go. That's better. Now another bar below it. Now, depending on whether you think this is a channel, there is a possibility that could come down and make a new low, but to me it looks more like a range, in which case I wouldn't expect that to come down. So there is a second entry long there. If I'm unsure, I never take it. I always wait for the higher low. If you wait for the higher low, chance of you getting stung is a lot less. possible failed second entry long. I'm looking for a higher low here. Oh, I don't think we're going to get it. There is a second entry long there.
Order filled.
Bit more of a risk than I wanted to take. Let's go for it.
Target filled.
Beautiful. Okay, it was a nice bar actually, and yeah, somebody mentioned there's a second entry long on the NQ, and actually it wasn't a nice. That's what I like. We got a leg up there, nice second entry long there, new high about to go, but it's nice to have that backup that it's on another chart looking bullish as well. So we got a nice leg up, 1, 2 legs down, nice strong move. So that would be more of a penguin trade as well. We got a leg up, 1 attempt to go lower, 2nd attempt to go lower, strong bullish move straight through the EMA out. He would probably do a 1-to-1 there, which would be something like that. And out before the tops, I would say that would happen. Let's have a look. There. Okay, we made a new high on the I'd expect that to still work anyway. Leg up there, 2 legs back. It's a clear, strong move in it, so I'd expect that to break that high. Maybe it come down first before it goes, but that's the type of what's it trade I would see, the penguin star trade. So second entry long, 2 points plus 2 points. Yeah, he has. He's been poorly apparently, isn't he? He's been ill over Christmas. I hope he's okay. Yeah, so that clearly works. So leg up there, 2 attempts to go long, big strong move. That's the type of trade I'd expect him out before the highs, 1-to-1, beautiful. So yeah, I got an email earlier from him. Let me have a look. Let's have a look. Yeah, he's trading today. He is trading today. So yeah, he has been ill apparently. Let me have a quick look. Yes, there we go. So, and that was 1 hour ago, so he is trading today. So why is that doing that? That's blooming annoying. Yeah, so he's trading today anyway, so but he has been poorly apparently, so I'm going to get rid of that. I'm not a fan of that, and I would say for me this is now clearly looking like a range. Put that there. We came back and we touched a couple of times there. We touched there, touched there, touched there, and we got one close enough and some touches there. So with the exception of the front a little bit from the open, it's down, up, down, up. It's definitely a range, isn't it? So normally I'd wait for a high low there, but just to give me that little bit of confidence. But the trade looked nice on the NQ as well. So we got a channel down here, break, 2 pushes down to a new low, and it did look like it's bottoming. There was a higher low which worked. There was a failure which worked. 2 legs back. Nice, same again, bullish bar. Clearly worked. I think trades like that, would I call that a 9.5 out of 10? I'd probably call that an 8 3/4, a 9 out of 10. I would prefer this second pull down, not quite as low. But it's one of those trades that it's going to work probably 8.5 times out of 10, I would say, something like that. So it's still worth taking them, in my opinion. Bit more risk than I wanted to take. But sometimes it's 3.5 point risk for 2 points. But if that works 7 times out of 10, it's going to make money, isn't it? So leg and a leg. So it does seem like today's starting out ranging. And that would take us up to the top, which you would have said would be the perfect place to finish. All right, the DAX went up too, did it? Yeah, I think it's. I've got to say, I get way more value from looking at another indice than I do looking at Bookmap. Because if it's looking bullish on both charts, do you know what I mean? You know what it's like as a trader. Now, I'm not an experienced trader. I've been trading a little over 3 years, so I would class myself as just sort of in that intermediate level where I can trade well enough to make money, but obviously I'm still, maybe a rookie with a stripe, if you like. So it's all about having that confidence to go, does it look okay? Is it me? Am I reading it right? There's lots of different questions you ask yourself, but looking at something like that with 2 legs back, it's exactly the same picture. So you've got 2 different charts showing you the same sort of picture. We do seem to be working up, don't we? So, which is why in the end I just decided to just buy straight into that. But I do like having this. I don't know if anybody else trades with them, but like you say, the DAX as well. So same again, another index giving you that same sort of picture. So I think it just adds that little bit of credence to a trade. And I like that. We all sort of, question things, and we all have little doubts from time to time, don't we? And I suppose it's just part of life. The trouble is with trading. Now, normally, if you learn something in life, you get confident at it pretty quick. But there is that many different failures in trading. You do ask yourself, am I reading this right? It's very, very easy to lose your confidence. You get a couple of losing trades, your confidence goes. You win 2 trades in a row, your confidence comes back. Because there's so many failures. Unlike any other type of trade or business or anything else I've ever learned in life, and I've been around 54 years and I've learned a fair few things in my life, and this is by far the toughest by a mile. I've been a bricklayer, I've been a chef, I've drove oil around in a big articulated tanker. I've done lots of different things in my life. I did karate for 17 years, so I had quite a bit of confidence in myself. I did some skydiving, some scuba diving, so I've always been quite a confident person. Nothing really, puts the willies up me really, but trading took, really chipped away at my sort of confidence level, because I was always pretty confident person, but trading just, it ate away at my confidence like nothing else ever has. And sometimes you look at these setups and thinking, is this right? You question yourself. It's just because it's so hard to learn, and it's a mind game, as we all know. And you do sort of, I hope I get to the stage one day where I can say, yeah, I know I can trade. I don't need to worry now. Just turn up, do the stuff, do the bizzo for the day, and I'm done. Mostly you're going to get green days, occasionally have a red day, and that's it. I hope I can look upon it as just like another job, that I can just turn up, do my job, and not think whether I win or lose. My job is to turn up, find a good setup, take it, regardless of whether it wins or lose. Obviously, you really want them to win. But, my job is to spot a good setup and take it. and do that a couple of times a day, and that's my job. The money, if you can trade okay, and you've got the psychology side, we'll just follow. It's a byproduct of trading, really, isn't it? And I hope it comes to me like a normal job, like everything else I've ever done in life at some point. But since I started trading, it's been such an impact on my life because I've been, I would call it obsessed with it, probably because it's so challenging. It's taken so much. I'm the type of person, if I want something, I'll get it, within reason, or I'll work towards it until I get it. But because it's so difficult to trade, it's just I've had to work and be obsessed, and it does sort of take over your whole life. There's never a time where trading isn't at the forefront of my mind before everything. Constantly, it's always there. I can never sort of switch off completely and forget all about it. It's always there. And I hope at some point I can just treat it like a job, just turn up, do it, and walk away at the end of the day, and that's it. But unfortunately, because it's such a sort of big part of your life with the psychological side of it, it never quite goes away. I hope I'm not rambling on too much today. Some days I'm quiet, other days I've just got stuff to say. So all I say is, if you've got a volume switch, if I'm frightening your brain, just turn me down for a bit. Okay, so that 2 legs clearly played out, and it went to where I expected it to go, to the top of the range. So, there is a time where I would hold on to that, and that probably wouldn't have been a bad time to do it. If you'd have got out close to the top, even up to there, that went for 10 points comfortably, and it ain't finished yet. That's the type of trade I look, leg up, 2 legs of correction, and another leg up. Didn't it work well? NQ approach and measured move as well. Yeah, it is. So it is nice to have that little backup of another chart just to look at as well. It just says, okay, what I'm seeing here, I'm seeing on another chart. So it just does give you that little bit of extra comfort, doesn't it, to take a trade. Yeah, people are still getting problems with look, if I quickly drag that Discord in the Apex, I'd definitely say join this, because it's interesting to find out if other people have got problems. Yeah, people still are having problems, I think. I like the fact that you've got some moderators here. I know Cameron and Vince work for Apex. I'm not sure about this person here, but it's nice to have some Apex people on there. And we all know the Vinces, don't we? He's that guy that withdrew that $800,000 from his Apex account, and I think he's working for Apex. I'm assuming they snapped him up. So, we have got all-time highs up here, which we've hit close to it there. We did hit it maybe a couple of weeks ago, and then we had that massive big drop, didn't we, the day after? Or later in the day, rather, later in the day. Keep hitting the measured move. Are you on about the one from the bottom, are you? What about that one? Yeah. Yeah, very little volume. I thought I could have sworn there'd be more volume than that yesterday, but yeah, leg and a leg. Yeah, I definitely like that NQ chart. Not necessarily to trade. The point system takes a bit of getting used to. There's that many flaming ticks in a point, isn't there? It's not quite as simple as just grabbing your stop and dropping it one tick below there. Because you can actually get it closer, can't you? It just looks like a tick, but when you actually squeeze it up, it's there's lots of ticks there in the NQ chart. So I would expect a break here. I can't see that continuing to push that strongly above all this resistance without coming down and retesting it. So I would expect price now to break out of this channel down this way. Around about here somewhere. Okay, lower high. Let's come down here somewhere. Come on. Okay, lower high. I'd expect that to get close to the EMA. Yeah, so there is a possible second entry long. What I don't like is we got a lot of support here, so I would expect it to come down and retest, or at least make an effort to retest some of this before it pushes higher. If it pushes higher, you took the same one. Thanks, Robin. How you doing, buddy? Have you had any problems, Robin? I had issues yesterday. I did. Go figure. Yeah, I'll show you something you've never seen before. Okay, so if you take a trade here, what happens at the end of the day? It auto liquidates, yeah? You can't open a trade overnight, yeah? That says otherwise. That's where I opened a trade. For some reason, the trade opened, there was no stop and no take profit, so I closed it down. This was blank at the time. So I decided, obviously, a little bit of volume there, nothing. Well, that was the whole day. So I cancelled the account. I stopped trading. And then when I shut Rhythmic down, it said you had positions open. So apparently that position had stayed open. And I tried multiple times, did everything I could to try and get that position to close. And then what happened? As soon as the market reopened, it appeared again. Luckily, I managed to get out here with a very small profit. So you're not supposed to be able to do that. But for some reason, go figure. Never seen that before. Never seen that before. So I managed to get out with 3/4 of a point of profit. But I tried, must be 20, 30 times to do everything I possibly could to try and do that. Flattened both accounts. That's the first thing I did. Okay, there was a second entry long there. I wouldn't have taken that though because it's too far from the EMA for me. There's 2 legs down, but I don't like that. You didn't trade yesterday, missed the action. Yeah, did they? Well, they did say it was a glitch, but so far they have said that it was Rhythmic's fault and they're not taking responsibility for it, from what I can gather. So I don't quite understand how they can do that. It's not our choice to use Rhythmic. We're told to use Rhythmic by Apex. It's part of their package. So, you can't say this is the software you've got to use, but if something goes wrong with it, it's not our fault. And I just... it just doesn't wash with me for some reason. But no, it was naff. I mean, well, look at that. Market officially supposed to open around about here. And that was it. So it just... I think we did about 20 minutes and then knocked it on the head. Okay, so leg. I wouldn't have taken that one personally. Although it is a second entry long, it's just asking for trouble. It's way too far from the EMA for me. It's just got trap written all over it, I think. Let's have a look. So you wouldn't have even got a point there. Let's see if this pushes up. There is a higher low there, but it's a bit of a doji. And it looks to me like a little bit of a range. So maybe it might work to the top. But it's just too far for the EMA for me. It's asking for trouble, that. Okay, so you'd have got a 1.5 or a point, no problem there. So I just don't like them when they're that far away from the EMA, especially when we've just broken all this resistance, because a lot of the times, as we know, it'll come back and retest this line before it pushes off, if it does. Which is why I left that alone. It's just, it doesn't look far, but really in real terms, it's a million miles away from the EMA, isn't it? Second entry short. Let's see if that triggers and stops out. It's quite a strong move, that, so I would expect that to get stopped out. I think it's too early to short unless we come down here, but I'm just staying out of this at the moment. I'd want one leg down and a second leg down. Okay, possible failed second entry short. I'm just staying out of this at the moment. There'll be some longs in there, there'll be some shorts in there. So you just don't know what it's going to hit first. Okay, so if you took that second entry short, you just got busted. Interesting. So where's this going to go now? Are we coming down or are we going to continue on up? Let's have a look at this. Okay, so there is a possibility we may continue up. But also we may come down. This just may be topping out as in the part of this range, possibly. See what happens. This is interesting. This is looking bullish on the NQ chart. Look at that. That's a second entry long. Technically, that looks to me like a beautiful place to go long. Let's have a look at this. That's pushing up quite strongly. It does look like a lovely place to go long there. I love it when they sit like that. So whether that just runs from here like that or not, who knows? Quite possibly. Yeah. So now it fell pretty low. Yeah, I'm not a fan of picking bottoms because I'm not very good at it, in all fairness. I think you just don't know there. See, after we've come above this, you just don't know whether we're going to bounce and go higher or whether we're going to come back into the chart. But that's worked lovely for a trade on the NQ. That has. It just looked. I like the way we pushed up there. A little bit of sideways, had a quick drop. Lovely bullish bar. I love it when I see him sat there. Perfect place for a push up there, and we went up there nice. So I'd expect that to break these highs for sure. But just a really nice look. It is a second entry long as well, and I just love the way it's come back there. Nice big strong move, and that for me is going to push above this highs. Unfortunately, I don't know, there's a setup on here really. I wouldn't have taken that personally. One, it's a bit in limbo land there. You don't know whether it's going to trigger you and come to here, break below here, push up and retest it. You don't know whether this is going to become the top of the new range. It's just a little bit of a non-starter for me, that one. There's no second entry there, so there's nothing I could do there really. And that worked perfectly on the NQ. Perfect push up, nice strong move that, cleared out any possible shorts that may have been lingering around there. So that's looking nice and bullish now. Looking at the daily, so we've had 1-2 tests of this lower area, so there is a failure there, so that to me looks like it could push up and break these highs there. But it is a little bit congested, so it's hard to say, but it does look like if we can manage to push up and break these highs, then I can see that going a bit higher. So that's the daily. So we broke the highs of the day. So we've had this drop. It does look like a W pattern, this, doesn't it? Looks like a W. Like to test some of this area here with the thoughts about going higher. The frustrating thing yesterday about contacting Apex is, let me show you what I saw. So I went into the Apex site. So there's the front page. Went into the Apex site. Logged in. And I couldn't get it to work, so I put help ticket. So I went into help, yeah, and I saw this big yellow sign: do not enter any trades until we notify that servers are back up. Okay, now that was when I typed in open a ticket. So that was basically my chart, and I went into help support tickets, and it was there. There's no point in having it there because that's showing you the information when you've already had the problem. It's just completely... You want that on the front page. You want that saying, don't take a trade because of this. You know, if you've gone into the help to do a ticket, you've already had a problem. So it's kind of the wrong place to put it, really. So it's beyond me. And somebody made a comment yesterday saying whenever they have the sales, they manage to, you know, send emails out to you notifying you of the sales. But when there's a problem, you don't really get an email. So it was just a little bit frustrating. You know, you don't want to be told there's a problem when you're just about to submit a ticket because you've had a problem. Okay, if we can get 2 legs down here and bounce here somewhere, then that would be interesting. Maybe to go long. I mean, this could be a nice strong trend, this. The ATR's come right down. This could be a really strong trend. Leg back. Just can't take that at the moment. We need to get back here a little bit. Leg down. Yeah, it doesn't interest me that. It's a bit of an inside bar there, so I just... not sure about that. I'd rather see that come a little bit further back here than there, than take that too close to the highs. There's not much room to get out. I want that back here, leg and a leg. In fact, to be honest with you, I'd rather just stay out of going long at the moment because the NQ, we've had this nice second entry long and it's come right up now and it's quite a bit away from the MA, so I'd expect a drop in this pretty quick. So the last thing I want to be doing is looking to go long just at the moment. This looks like it's sucking in some longs to me. I'd expect this to come down to here, probably a bit lower than this. So I'm staying out of anything just here. There's no real room anyway to the tops, barely anything, so I need a bit of a flush down. Okay, leg. Let's see what happens now. Okay, so if you took that, or this, or anything like that, they've all been stopped out. Okay, leg. Same again. If I'm going to go long, I'd wait for the higher low. My only concern about going along at the moment is we're still quite a bit away from the EMA on the NQ, so there's a bearish bar there, so I'd expect that at least to work its way down to the bottom of this channel. If not a bit lower, it's possible. So that's just what's keeping me out of a long trade at the moment. Ordinarily, leg, that would be quite a nice place to go long, but because the NQ's still too far from the EMA, that I believe is risky. I think there may be a break here, and I think that's going to get stopped out, that bar there. It does look a really nice place to go long, leg. It's just, I just got a bad feeling about that. I don't like what I'm seeing. There will be some traders in there, no doubt it, but look at that, it's triggered it and coming down, so it's asking for trouble, that is. So another reason I've stayed out of that trade is because the NQ is so far from the EMA at the moment. Now it may hold, but it just, there's nothing worse when you see a trade go like that and then start to turn. But for me, in fact, I'm going to bring it in a minute. For me, I'd expect this is quite a bit of way away from me. Now it could continue up, but for me, it's just, I've just got that cautious feeling here. I really have. Where'd it go? There it is. Okay. Let's see if this holds. So if you took that there, you wouldn't have been out for a point yet. Now all this is looking nice here, and it does look like two nice legs. I think what makes it more dangerous is because it's a range and there's not much room to the top of the range, and this is so far from the EMA, which is making me, I wouldn't go long on here. So I think the sensible thing is to do for me to stay out of this. It may work, but I don't like it. I mean, it looks nice on here, doesn't it? Leg back. Nice bullish bar confirming this. You're done. 2 on. You're good on you, mate. Yeah, you take it easy, bud. Okay, excuse me, I'm just going to take a quick bathroom break. I'll be about 1 minute. Okay. 1, 2, 3, triple test. Could be a break here. Okay, so I mean, really, if you took a trade here, you'd want to be out before these highs, really. So there's maybe a 1.5 available maximum. It's just too risky for me, that is. Not only that, it's going sideways as well. I just have this feeling we're going to get a flush down. There'll be some longs in there, probably. There'll definitely be some longs in there. We're just too far away from the EMA at the moment for this, and we've had a push up, a little bit of sideways, and it's losing momentum, so I would expect this to come down closer to that EMA, which means, for me, that would be just a risky trade. Let's see what you would have got out of it. Okay, so see, that's one tick there. Let's have a look. Yeah, one tick. Okay, so you'd have got a 1.5 maximum. And that's if you went right up to the top. It's just asking for trouble. That there's so much resistance there. Going long there for me is just way risky. And not only that, if you went long there, just to these highs is half a point. It's just too much. Too risky. Now let's see if this holds. See, sometimes this, and I've mentioned this before, when you get a strong position, often the stop does hold, and it is two nice legs. But because we're up here and just so far from the EMA on the NQ, if the NQ comes back, this is going to. So Mac will mark that because it was good for a point. But I don't go for a point. I don't know whether you'd have just squeezed a 1.5 out of that. I'd have wanted to be out for here, though, to be fair, and it's got to push through that to get 3/4 of a point, so it's just too risky for me. I'm not interested in 3/4 of a point. It's just not worth the risk. What is that bar? So a tick above it, tick below it. It's 3 points. Just too much risk for 3/4 of a point. I'll be amazed. Sometimes they do hold a good position, and it may do. This is looking better now, but look at that. That's my concern. So you can see how many longs are in there. 2 legs back, but for me, it just had too risky written all over it. And the way that dropped below there, there'd have been quite a few longs in there. So you'd have got a 1.5 right at the very top there, but no more. So it's just way risky, that was. So it was a good decision. And the reason I made that decision was because what the NQ was doing. We were that far away from the EMA, and then all of a sudden we had that big flush down. And obviously, as soon as it broke below there, you can see that straight away. It hit up a ton of trays and 2 legs back. Ordinarily, it'd be a lovely place. You'd think, yeah, we got another strong push up, but so I made a good decision there. So, and the reason I made that good decision is because I'm looking at this. If we were right back here and that was looking bullish, then I'd have taken that for sure. So let's just stuff that back out of the way. So if you were scalping for a point, that would have been okay for that. I don't see an issue with taking that if you're out before the highs. But look at that. Walked away and somebody dropped the stone. They did. I expected a flush down, not quite as dramatic as that, but I expected it to come down, below there, and it did, but I didn't quite expect it to come down so much. But there'd have been quite a few longs in here thinking we're going to have another leg up. But at the time where that second entry long, well, I say it's not technically a second entry long, it's a third, but it is clearly 2 legs back. But it's just, it goes up a little bit sideways and then just drops. But the NQ was what I didn't like. We were up here then with the NQ and we're just too far away from the EMA. We've had this one push up, little bit of sideways, quick drop, nice bullish bar. But as it's going up there, it's clearly losing momentum. I'd expect it to come down to here. And once it comes down to there, Fed Walker is talking, yeah. Is he? I've got no news on here, so I don't know what would... but to be fair, there'd have been a lot of longs in there, 2 clear legs back. And you can see when it broke below there, quick drop, and then obviously down it came. So let's have a look. There's a failure there. My slight issue is it's a bit sideways. So I ain't getting involved. People are getting problems again. Rhythmic not working. That dump just broke the system. Can't even connect to an engine now. God, bet it. So, leg. Are we pushing up now? to retest these this area up here. See, I've got no news on my system here. None at all. See, it was clearly struggling to get up there. I don't know. I was looking for a higher low here, but nothing. See, I've got no news on here. No high impact news at all. Okay, second entry long, just not sure. I'd rather get a higher low if we're going to push back up and retest these areas. I think there's a chance this is going to come and break these areas here. Yeah, it is. Okay, there was a failed second entry long there which triggered. Does look like a penguin style trade there, doesn't it? We got a leg down, one attempt to go higher, second attempt to go higher, failure. Was tempted to go short there. Very tempting. What size is that bar? Not massive. Very volatile at the moment. I would expect another leg down here. Let's have a look. So I looked at that bar there to go short, but I stayed out of it because it's a bit sideways, but that clearly would have worked for 2 points. Yeah. It was a penguin style trade. We got a leg down there, channel down there, we got a break, one attempt to go high, second attempt to go high, failure. I very nearly hit the sell button, very nearly, but then I have a little post-it on my screen saying take a trade, think, look left. A lot of support there, a lot of support around there, depending how you look at it, and it's congested. So I stayed out of it. It would have worked, but regardless, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bars stacking back to back, loads of congestion over here and some support here. You don't know whether we're going to try and make a new high, so I stayed out of it in the end. Regardless, the fact that it worked makes no difference. It's just congested, and there's a lot sideways, so I'm going to put that up there like that, because it just does look like it's ranging to me. We've got a leg down there, 2 attempts to go higher. I think actually a chance of another leg down there, which would take us, depending on where you see it, somewhere around the bottom. You could say triple test, 1 attempt to go higher, second attempt to go higher. Possible triple test. 4-0 on MQ with strong legs up. Good on you, mate. Well done. That's nice, isn't it? I can't remember the last time I did 4 trades in a day, especially 4 winning trades. I had 3 a couple of weeks ago, but I've got 2 there. 4's nice if you can get 4. What happy days. I would say, from what I can see now, I think it's likely we're going to push up and retest these highs. Leg and a leg. There is a second entry short which is triggered on the so we got leg up, cam down, retest this bottom. There's a second entry short which is triggered, so I would expect that. It depends whether you look upon this as a triple test and then we're going to go down. It is a second entry short, but the way it's slowly going around here, a lot of the times what I've noticed it'll suck in shorts. Come on, we're going, follow me, and then it'll turn and push up. And I think that's what that'll do. It's not coming down strong enough for me. It looks like it's sucking some shorts, so it's triggered some shorts there. It's slowly itching down, saying, come on, follow me. This is the way we're going. Make your points. And I think that's then going to push up and stop out. Any stops above there, which there will be some. Second entry short. So I'd expect that to break. Tick above there and take it. Any stops. But it does. It slowly sucks you in. Come on, follow me, and then turns. Up you go. Come on, some nice stops there. Yeah, nice big strong bar. So I'd say there's a chance now we're going to break these highs. But I don't know how many times I've seen it do that. It'll give you this little bar, which is no better than this, to be fair. It's no more bearish. It's no more interesting, but it'll give you a little bit. And then it started to go, didn't it? Saying, quick, you're going to miss out. And all of a sudden, turns. You see that all the time. It sucks you in. Market's really very, very clever, very, very efficient at picking off weak points and almost, inviting in positions just to take out. I don't know how the ins and outs of it. I'm a retail trader. I've never had any type of sort of formal training as such. But it's very efficient. Very efficient. I didn't realise there was any type of news. FOMC, remember Waller speaking. I've got nothing on my chart. This is really accurate as well. The only thing we had was 1:30 UK time around about here. You wouldn't even really know. We had one. You wouldn't even really know there was any type of news. But normally any type of news is on this app, on this add-on from Mac. But perhaps I should just look at Forex Factory before I start trading every day. It's never caught me out. I've never had anything catch me out here. My issue there was it was trying multiple times to get up, which was what I understood. It came short strongly because there's 2 legs back. There's going to be a lot of traders in that looking to go long, and it trapped a load of them. And when it broke below there, traders are just exiting their positions, and then shorts are taking over, thinking maybe this is a range. So that's my take on it. So, but I was unaware about any type of news, so I will look into it and find out that, what did I miss? Anybody see Mac's chart? No, and I can't at the moment. I had a year with Mac, then had about 6 months away, and then I went back for another year just to sort of refresh and go back to basics. So I've had 2 years with Mac over the last 2.5 years, just over 2.5 years. So my membership did run out a few days ago. I had a message, I think it ran out on the 12th. Excuse me a sec. Sorry about the whining. My wife's back. It wasn't her whining, it was the dog. But yeah, I had a message. I think my membership, my 2nd year membership, ran out on the 12th. So I don't believe, no, I can't, because you've got to go into the website to see his chart. So I can't anymore. Okay, so retested the highs. We clearly made a new high. So we had that quick drop, a little bit of sideways, and eventually it pushed up. There was nothing really. I was looking for a higher low. That was just no good. This was sideways, and then we had that. Trouble is, if you take a long there and it traps you, it was a poor place to get in because it's clearly just congested, really. You don't know it's going to do that. But it did. Pushed up, made a new high by a tick or two. So this is just starting to look more like a range day, really. Hence another reason for that quick drop. So whether it was news-based or not, I don't know. Some people tended to think so. Okay, do you know, I'm going to knock it on the head there. How long I've been going for? Just coming up 2 hours. Usually if I do 2 winning trades, I'll finish, but that was a shorter point because it was an issue yesterday. So I'm $350 up times 2. So $700 up over 2 accounts. So that's not a bad day's work. So that's it, I think, for the day. Nice short day today. Yeah, so just, you're welcome, Chris. Just keep an eye on Rhythmic. Cheers, Kev. Just keep an eye on Rhythmic and just make sure everything's doing, get that on your chart. I didn't used to have that. I thought I only needed the orders and positions from NinjaTrader, but now I've got that on there from Rhythmic. So if a trade closes, or if you close a trade and there's 2 red crosses there, something hasn't closed. So it just gives you a backup. I've never did that. I've never done that. But when I had that problem on an evaluation a couple of weeks ago, I watched one of Darren Martin's videos that mentioned always have the position tab within Rhythmic up just in case something happens with NinjaTrader. Because I've had it that there's no trade shown in Ninja anywhere, but they were triggered in Rhythmic. So just keep an eye on that and cover your asses. And one more thing as well, I mentioned earlier, if you don't use OBS, this is it. This is what I'm seeing now. This is, it's free. Download it. Do just a main screen capture and just click record and record your trading for the day. 2 main reasons for that. One, you can look back and find out what you did or what you missed or whatever. And 2, if anything does go wrong and you've got all this, you've clearly got video evidence just to show what went wrong. And then at the end of the day, if everything was a smooth day, just delete it. But it's free to use and you might as well use it. It'll help cover your ass, because once you start getting into multiple PAs, you know, you can be talking serious money there, and if something goes wrong, if the shit hits the fan and things go tits up, at least you've got you know, sort of a glimmer of protection. The fact that you've got it on video, it's on video, there's no issues there, there's no lying, you've got proof. So just cover your asses. I try and do everything I can. If I see something, I record it or follow it or make a copy of it, just to, you know, in case anything ever goes wrong. So I appreciate comments. Shorter day today. I normally do about 3 hours, but as I say, I've got 2 trades, so I'd rather just get out and enjoy my day. So you're welcome, mate, anytime. So I'll be back here again tomorrow. So as I say, just keep an eye on Rhythmic. It's pissing around at the moment, and you don't want to get stung. So if you do carry on trading, best of luck. I hope you get a setup. Failing that, I will see you all tomorrow. So have a great evening, stay safe, and we'll catch up again same time tomorrow. Okay, bye for now.